Hello and welcome once again to the Parenting Tools podcast with myself, Jordan.
And me, Jason. This is the podcast where two parenting tools talk about life, responsibility, and how we wish we had more sleep.
Season 2, episode 2. Let's go.
Go. Just a reminder for next week's episode to send us your sleep-related questions. We have a guest with us, Daisy, who is a sleep training expert. Is that correct?
Guru.
Yeah. Oh, wizard? Let's ask her official title. When
Savant.
Yeah, so please do send us your sleep-related questions. Nothing is off limits. We'll ask all the questions.
No, you can send them on Instagram at Parenting Tools Pod or send them on email, parentingtoolspod@gmail.com.
gmail.com. Should I have some opening questions?
We could get in trouble for that. Yeah, let's jump into some opening questions. So we've got opening question this week from Z, and this is a good one actually. What's your thoughts on doing chores after the kids have gone to bed? And part 2, it's a two-parter.
Ooh.
What are your favourite and least favourite household jobs?
Ooh, all of them. All of them are my least favourite. I think give you my thoughts about it. Not a fan.
I've got one that is my least favourite to have to do.
Yeah.
But one of my favourites to do.
Ooh, interesting.
So when my daughter poos in the bath, which is...
Is that a frequent event?
Yeah. I'd say it's weekly. I don't know what it is. Every like parent I speak to, like, oh yeah, they did that once.
You should invest in a good net.
I don't know what it... I don't know if it's because... I don't know. She likes a long bath. She will play in the bath for ages. So I don't know if it's just the duration. By the time she's been in for 4.5 hours, it's like, right, it's time. But just hosing down the bath.
Is it therapeutic?
And I think the reason is because that means my wife is dealing with her. She's drying her off. Yeah. She's putting all the pyjamas on. She's getting her ready for bed. Whilst I'm just stood there with the shower head, rinsing it down.
Yeah.
It's a really easy job.
Those moments in parenting, honestly, they feel like little wins, don't they?
Just there, chilling, hosing it down. So the reason to, and getting the fishing isn't so nice. But the hose down...
The little moment of solace.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
So we've, me and my wife have devised a plan. We put down all the chores and we wrote down the ones that we didn't like, the ones that we liked the least. And thankfully, the ones I like the least are not the same as the ones that she likes the least.
I like where this is going, yeah.
So she hates doing the dishwasher. I hate doing the actual clothes washing. Easy one.
Easy win.
She hates getting up in the morning. I hate doing the bedtime, as in after the bath. Easy. I'll get up in the morning. She does the bedtime put downs.
Nice.
Easy.
Little balance.
Yeah. Still hate doing the chores though.
So is that your approach to get stuff? Because I feel like my wife is brilliant. Like, she's so good. I feel like by the time the kids are in bed, there's not much to do. And she's quite intentional with that because then that's our time. She doesn't want to be using that time tidying up. And I know for some parents, it's like that's their time to do all those things.
Yeah.
Where do you fit that in?
See, we last year, we ebbed and flowed. Life was really busy and like our works were quite busy last year. And so we would often put off the chores until the next day just to spend time together. Whereas kind of one of our sort of New Year's resolutions is just make sure we're on top of everything all the time. Which is obviously easier said than done. But because we both work from home, it's now just finding like the little bits of lunchtime just to do those things, which is working so much better. It's annoying because they're still chores, but it means that evenings are clear, and that's like the most precious time at the moment, especially for us. There's nothing more I like than just sitting down after all the kids are put down. There's nothing else to do. The world's your oyster. You can decide and spend your evening deciding what to watch.
Talking about what we should watch. It's so true. One job I'm all right with doing, load the dishwasher in the evening, unload it in the morning.
It's easy, isn't it?
Quite comfortable with that. My least favourite job by far, and my wife will be sat at home saying, do you know what? He's telling the truth. Putting clothes away.
Really?
After they're washed. That's the most time-consuming part of the wash.
Yeah.
I'm all right with putting them in the washer, sticking them in the tumble dryer, out on the line, whatever. I'm fine with that. The putting them away, pairing socks.
I hate it.
I don't do it.
Yeah.
And it winds my wife up terribly.
See, I used to just bung all my socks into a basket, all loose. Just leave pairing them till the moment I need them.
Just pick out two that are the same colour.
Exactly.
They haven't got to be the same sock.
Yeah, all the same size. Trainer sock with a woolly sock.
For me, they've got to be the same category.
That's the lie. They've got to be at least similar.
From rocking ankle sock on the left, it's got to be on the right as well.
Can't be rocking a Tuesday sock with a Wednesday sock.
I'm all right with that, as long as it's the same colour.
Same colour. That's another one that we traded. We put those in. Again, when we wrote down all the chores, we put time. How much time does it take? Not like difficulty of task, it's time. And so I'll do like cooking, and hers is just all of the washing from start to finish of like the clothes. So she'll round up all the dirty clothes, do it all, put them all away. I'll trade that for a number of chores.
I will cook, and again, it's that time in the kitchen.
Yeah.
At the minute as well, cost of living. You're stood over a hob. Or
keep them warm.
Stood near the oven. I'll take that time. I'll take that warmth.
And it's also the dishwasher ties in with the washing up after dinner. So do them in one.
Yeah.
And it looks like two chores.
But yeah, it's a good question, Z. Thank you.
Our next one is from Andy Southey. Serial question and
question asker.
Struggled with that one.
It's a hard one.
He said, what thing does your kid do that makes you laugh the most?
This could be rephrased to, what has your kid done today? Every day.
I love it.
Hilarious chaos.
So my daughter started doing this fake yawn. Because she's realised it makes other people yawn. It's brilliant.
Just a bit sadistic. See, I do that when I want my kids to go to bed. I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I'm so tired.
What I find the most funny part of that is it's a terrible fake yawn. It's
Is it when people have overstayed their welcome?
She'll just do it. We've got people over. She'll just do it. And it's like, oh, it's hilarious watching everyone just... A chain reaction of the yawns going off.
Next you'll be going, look at the time.
Bringing your coats. She does do that. Time to go now.
Well, thanks for coming, guys. What a savage.
What about you? What's the thing that's made you laugh today?
My little boy has stopped calling me daddy. He now calls me Geordie. I walk in, he'll go, Geordie. Or like, Geordie, can you do this? And he does it so much now that it's just natural. Before he was doing it on purpose for the reaction. I take Geordie over dad.
Oh, really?
Oh, the day that I don't know about other parents. I really don't look forward to the day where they're old enough to drop daddy and go for dad.
Oh, see, Noah's done that already.
He does it every now and again as a joke.
Ah, okay.
Like he'll shorten, and we shorten everybody's names.
Yeah.
You know, so
Soon you'll be...
Yeah. So for him, like, daddy's just dad. But it's not because he's too old to call me daddy and he's embarrassed in front of his cool mates and all that. It's just because he shortens names. But I get Geordie more than
that's funny
daddy at the minute.
Well, I just want to point out, I think that's amazing that you've gone, what's the thing that's made you laugh today?
Yeah.
I just love that. That it's genuinely every day I got something to laugh at.
Every day.
That's amazing.
Every day. He started to do a fake laugh at the minute. And I got a video. So I mentioned poo in the bath. I've got a video of him dipping his face in bath water, doing a fake laugh, and then at the end of the video, you just see a little floaty.
What?
And that's when I noticed that we had a situation. To be fair, we had a bath bomb, and it had bits.
Brown bits.
And I just made a joke to my wife saying, we won't know if she's pooed because of these bits. And it wasn't until I saw the video and thought, I saw it on the video as I was filming it and thought, these bits are getting bigger.
That's not supposed to happen.
So yeah, he's doing this fake laugh and I just see this little, it's time to get out of the bath.
This is my last one. I could talk about this literally all episode. my daughter Noah cannot smile on cue.
Can she not?
No. She's got a gorgeous little smile just as she's playing. As soon as you get to take a photo, you go, smile. She goes... if you can't see, it's like a Wallet and Gromit style face. Just an open mouth.
Just a gun.
Just... It's hilarious. And so I have to go, oh no, laugh. And then she'll do a fake laugh. And it's like, that's better than the scary smile that you're doing.
Yeah. And my little girl, what's she doing at the minute? She is in such a good phase where she's starting to try and say words.
Yeah.
And she just gets them so wrong. But at the minute, we're doing like the whole where's your nose, where's your teeth. If you say where's your teeth, she'll kind of do a similar kind of thing. Just show the world her teeth. So that makes me laugh every day. So yeah, she's just in such a good phase of walking around and all that kind of stuff. But they do. Every day is just a new thing that makes you laugh, isn't it?
It's one of the best things. It's genuinely one of the best things. George, we put a video on TikTok the other day of the week of our guests of Joe and Lex.
Shout out Joe and Lex.
What was the one thing like someone couldn't prepare you for?
Yeah.
And I just want to read some of the comments to you.
Come on now.
First one from TikToker.
Oh, love it.
Baby wipes that come out in not one by one, but 10 wipes at a time.
Oh, that is annoying. Have you seen that hack for that?
No.
If you put a elastic band over one side of the wipes, maybe both, something to do with elastic band on the wipes, it will come out one by one.
That's a necessary effort.
But that, well, I tell you what is unnecessary. When you're holding the ankles and you can't get a wipe, and you're just flicking the wipes and they're going everywhere.
Especially when you get frustrated as well. It's the last one. You just, the whole pack just flings.
Yeah.
You're left with a wad of wipes. That'll do.
That's a really good one.
Got another one from Jessica Marie Garcia.
Shout out Jessica Marie
Garcia.
Saying
the constant fear Googling.
Oh.
That's so real.
Yeah. See, I am not a Googler because I just know I won't like what it says. But my wife, she Googles a lot.
We had
like, please stop.
Oh, we had some friends over a while ago, and one of them was a doctor. And my wife asked, "What do you think about people Googling?" And they hated it. Like, never do it.
Don't Google.
So we've tried to stop doing it because you were always like, "Should be dead." According to Google, I should have died 6 hours ago.
I find Googling is really helpful for certain things. In terms of like
searching in the internet.
Yeah, if you want to find a website, Google's your man. But also, it's like the worst thing.
It always brings up worst case scenario.
Yeah, for sure.
But I still stand by it. Got another one from Max. It says, when it's bedtime and they have a second burst of energy that lasts 2 hours and you're knackered, but they go through every emotion known to man.
The witching hour. It'll get you.
That's so real.
So
We've got
true.
two more. Another one from Roch. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Roch.
There's every chance I'm not. It's your turn to get up this morning arguments at 5 a.m.
Oh. Yeah.
Find a schedule.
It's the unspoken arguments.
Who's gonna move first?
Who's gonna move first?
Just pretend I'm asleep. And finally, one from my wife.
Oh, go on.
She put, so no one can prepare you for literally everything that your partner does in the night that is wrong.
Oh, that's lovely.
Lovely.
That's
It's so true.
That's
Though,
lovely.
isn't it?
Did you find that out via TikTok? Yeah. Oh, this is how she feels, is it?
So true though, isn't it? When you're really tired, nothing can go right. You've been woken up, and all you want to do is go back to sleep. Anything they do, other than allowing you to go back to sleep, is wrong.
Yeah, it's when you've tried everything, and you're like battling for a little while, and then your partner says, "Have you tried?"
Of course I've tried.
Of course I've tried it. Of course I've tried it. And we all do it. We all do it. But and then it's what's worse is when they suggest something that you haven't tried.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I've tried burping them really quickly.
Trying to sneak a burp out. Oh, John, before we move on, last episode I started a dad joke of the week.
Oh, big fan of it.
And I found this week's one from Lloyd and Matt on TikTok.
Come on now.
Honestly, I've watched the same joke so many times.
It's got to be good because you set the bar high.
I did set the
You
bar.
did.
You ready?
Yeah, I am.
Let's hear it for protein powder. Wait.
Good one for the New Year's resolution.
I love that.
That is a good one. Oh, that's funny. Do you know what? Send us your dad jokes.
Oh, the most hilarious ones will just live in my mind forever.
Yeah.
That's the prize.
Well, talking of protein and whey, how are you weighing?
Oh, so before the new year, I resoluted, just as a life resolution, that I need to lose weight.
Yep.
I ended Christmas being the heaviest. So I put on everything that I'd lost.
Oof. So if you are a new listener, again, TikTok did us no favours. More specifically, did you no favours?
Yeah, me no favours.
So we put out a very reasonable question of, as a parent,
completely reasonable.
where do you find the time to exercise? You got rinsed like a sodden towel.
I got atted.
You got shamed.
I did.
You got gaslighted.
And it's fairly like split opinion of, for people who fitness is like a staple in your life, it stays that way when you become a parent. For people where it's like as an added extra, it just goes with everything else.
Yep.
Because it's like that's not a priority right now. I just need to survive.
Yeah.
For some people, fitness in the gym is in that category. For me, it wasn't. Chocolate milk, however, was.
You mentioned minstrels on an episode recently, and I completely missed it. But I'll tell you what, try to break the shell of a minstrel, take it off, and leave yourself with the softer inner core.
Yeah.
Let's get some minstrels after this.
So
No, let's not.
the new year, I feel like I've been swindled.
Hoodwinked.
Hoodwinked. So I'd set a challenge to lose the weight again. Heading into the new year, I'd started actually a few days before New Year's Day, trying to get a head start on it.
In a segment I called Obese or Nobese.
Yeah. And so before Christmas, just after Christmas, I hit almost my all-time high heavy.
Obese.
Yeah. It literally was did my BMI in red. Obese. Didn't speak to me, but it should have done.
It judged you.
And so now I'm exercising regularly. I've got a box fit.
Ooh.
Class in virtual reality. It's
VR.
excellent. Yeah, it's so good.
Has it gone wrong yet? Have you taken
I
out
punched a desk.
taken out a lamp?
Really hurt. But genuinely, it's so good. And also, one thing is I've started running.
Yep.
Why have I started running, Jordan?
Because I've roped you into running. So something terrible happened. A friend of mine, by the name of Mark, the chef, he texted me and said, "What do you think of this idea? I want to do a 10K to raise awareness and maybe a bit of money for disabled parents. And he's going to come on the podcast and talk about it." And I said, "I'll do it with you." And then I thought, why have I said that? And as he's coming on the podcast, I thought I said to you, "Do you want to do the 10K?" So you said, "Yeah, let's do it."
And I want to clarify, I have not run 10K collectively in my life.
I think 5 is the furthest I've ever run.
I said, add all my runs together, still not 10K.
So we started running last week, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, we started. You finished it.
The worst thing is, on New Year's Day, because New Year's Day was a Sunday, we were driving to church, there was all these runners. And I thought there was like a tsunami or an earthquake or something. I was thinking, what's everyone running away from? It's New Year's Day, everyone's out in their new gear.
Yeah.
And now we are one of those.
When we went to go do that radio, BBC Nottingham radio, we were on the tram with all those runners.
It was a marathon, wasn't it?
Now I've got all the gear.
And we were talking, we were like, we can't run. Admire people that can run, but it's not for us.
Yeah.
And now we're doing it.
It has been genuinely like horrible. You've enjoyed it. But I'm doing it.
Not the first one.
There.
I didn't enjoy the first run. That was.
I only took you one and then you're in.
Yeah, just got the rust off. But my knees were not thanking me. So I went and did our local park run, which is 5K. And I sat in my car, voice noting you.
Yeah, brilliant.
Because I thought it was going to be horrific.
Yeah.
Just saying, I noticed there were 2 types of people. people that walk to the park run, the Keens that run to the park run. And then there were the New Year's resolutioners that obviously had their new gear.
Yeah.
Like not a drop of mud on the trainers. And then there was me, who didn't want to be there. Didn't want to be associated with the New Year's resolutioners. Didn't want to be associated with the Keene Park runners. But there I was in the name of charity. And you know what? I loved it.
Now you're a Keene Park runner.
No, I won't say Keene. But I will do the park run every week. So the 10K we are doing.
Every week?
I'll do it every
you
week.
Do 5K every week?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
I'm going to go do the loop in the week as well.
I genuinely think I'm going to be crawling for the last 7K.
The last 7K. The last majority. No, I've never been a good runner, but I did enjoy running with my mates.
Yeah.
One of them brought his dog, and
Nice.
the dog had to stop for a wee a few times, so he fell behind.
I'll be thankful for the break. But this is the thing, like, now exercise is a priority. It's not any easier. All those TikToks, all those messages, just make it a priority. It is a priority. It's still hard.
Yeah.
It's to the point now where literally at 10:30 the other night, I was like, I haven't got any exercise in. I'm going to have to sleep later just to do half an hour of exercise. That's not a sacrifice I want to make. But I'm doing it.
Yeah, even if you want to, it doesn't make it easier.
Yeah. And all these people acting like it's just no big deal.
Yeah, the people that are like 4:30, man, get up.
And I get it.
Get the work in.
If that's the only part in your life where that's taking a hit, where like one of you's doing more than the other, or you've got no other responsibilities outside of work. If the gym is the only thing that you're adding on top of that, sure. But then you add on social events, and we have like lots of church stuff on as well.
Yeah.
And like seeing, there's just so much stuff in life to balance. Now I feel like I've added another one in the mix.
Yeah.
But honestly, the hardest bit is just the food. Just being sensible with food.
Well, after I ran the 5K, I ate so much.
Oh, you can afford it.
I was refueling. I was stocking up. But yeah, it was good. So we will let you know once we've got a few more details. It's going to be in March. Once we know kind of the charity that we're going to be raising money for, we're going to get Mark on. We'll talk about it, and we'll about it, and we'll let you know. So we have had a message come in from Tina on Instagram, and I love the fact she said, I've got a parenting fail and a in musical emojis top tool.
Top two.
Oh,
you left me.
Oh, sorry, man. I feel like you deserve to be left hanging after the tail end of last year. So Tina says this: Hi, Jason and Jordan. Loving your podcast. Have managed to catch up on all the episodes.
Fair play.
Been doing a lot of cleaning. That's what she said. I'm 32, married with 3 kids. I've got a 13-year-old son, a 7-year-old girl, and a 1-year-old girl. Wow, that's quite a gap there, Tina, between all 3. Let us know how that was. Because I think like once you're out of that baby phase, I think I would struggle.
So what's the gap between the last 2?
6 years, and 6 years between the first.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, 6 years each time.
Wow.
So yeah, let us know, Tina, how that was. And she says this: took my kids to the park. They were 8 and 3 at the time. My little girl needed the toilet, and the park didn't have one. That's the first fail.
Ooh.
About 5-minute drive from the nearest, but a massive tree. So I thought, okay, take her around here. She's 3 and can't hold it. She had leggings on, so navigating the squat was awful. We had this the other night, side of the road, just driving on a main road, nowhere near home. Need a wee. Had to kind of do that, hold the legs up. So navigating the squat was awful. Pee went everywhere, trousers, shoes, covered. No spare clothes in the car. That's the second fail. Led me to wrapping my jumper around her and getting to the nearest Morrison's to buy her some clothes and shoes. As a parent to girls, is this something that you have thought about? Because I hadn't thought about that when I had my son first. My top tip would be when going to the beach or the park or the beach, somewhere where there's no toilets, a dress and sandals every time would help.
Yeah.
Bit of open access.
What a great story, by the way. This is definitely something that I've thought about a lot.
Yeah, well, yeah. And potty training is no joke. It also says, have a emergency kit in the car. We have a bag now that forever lives in the boot, changed out for seasons to help in these situations for each child. Spare socks, pants, wipes, antibacterial, trousers, jumpers, blankets, games, water, snacks. Also helps if you're ever stuck in traffic or a car breakdown. Loving the podcast, Tina from Scotland.
Oh, thank you, Tina, for the
Thank you,
message.
Tina from Scotland.
That's something that we have. We have a go bag in the car. Always got spare clothes. And another addition that we've got is the porta potty.
Oh, yes. We never did the porta potty.
So we've got that for the same sort of reasons. We're still kind of straddling potty training.
Squatting.
Yeah.
Squatting over potty training.
But because of a similar situation like that, got caught without spare clothes, without nappies. Always lives in the car now. And if we're ever nervous, so we still haven't transitioned out of nappies, but we've got those like in between nappies and no nappies.
Yeah, pull-ups.
Pull-ups.
Yep.
But the ones that actually don't do anything. So you might as well just have just normal clothes.
Sounds very inefficient.
Holds about a thimble of liquid. So yeah, we have the go bag in the car at all times.
We always take spares out with us.
Yeah.
But we never leave something in the car.
Yes, I've constantly got something in the car just
That's
sitting
a good
there.
idea.
Although I took it, I need to put it back in. Oh, that's a reminder.
Oh,
Don't get caught without that. Caught with my pants down.
come on now. Yeah, we kind of, I think it was on the M6 once. You're on one of the biggest motorways in the country, if you're an international listener, the highway, the freeway, and you just hear from the back, I need a wee. And you're thinking, come on now. It's like, good boy for telling mummy and daddy. Like, couldn't you just wee yourself, mate? And you're just holding them at the side of the road. Dreadful. But we've all been there.
And like the clothing choices is a big thing. But we found, especially getting towards winter, you got to layer up.
You can't do sandals in winter.
Yeah, got to layer up. But
I'd say this was one of the biggest, not challenges, but learning curves of having a baby girl. Tights.
Yeah.
They're so difficult to put on. My wife was like saying, right, just roll them up as much as you can.
Yeah.
Put them. It took me a while. I was like, she just doesn't stay still. Once you've rolled them up, she's gone. And like, you need to have both hands on.
Yeah.
Tights was a tricky one for me, having never worn them before. But yeah, it was. Learning to deal with tights was a learning curve.
I don't know what it says about me that I didn't struggle with tights.
Which shows you're a normal person that knows how to.
Similar to football socks.
That's true.
There you go.
But I put them on myself. I don't run away from me when I'm putting my football socks on.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm very cooperative with myself. So thank you, Tina, for that message. And if you do want to send us a message, we are at Parenting Tools Pod on Instagram or parentingtoolspod@gmail.com.
Every time I try to make a jingle like that, I should avoid it.
You should.
Just stay away.
Stay away from the lawsuits.
So talking about fat loss, weight loss, one of the things that I've been thinking about is trying to find moments as a parent to like have a break from the responsibility, because that's one of the things that's come up of you cannot explain to someone who hasn't had kids like the constant responsibility that you have. You can't get away from it. You're always thinking about it. It's always there. And actually it's necessary for me to have like not just escapes, but like planned time where I can just like relax a little bit from that. Like do you like have you ever been like overwhelmed just by like everything that needs to be done, or just stuff that needs, especially to do with kids? Is that something that's common to other parents?
Oh, man, I've been thinking about this recently. The parents who in lockdown were homeschooling and working, where everything was under one roof. I feel like I wouldn't have done well in that situation. I'm quite grateful that so even though he was a lockdown baby, he wasn't doing much. He wasn't up to much.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've been thinking about this recently because our kids haven't gone back to nursery yet. So It's been so cold that I can't work in my office. I'm downstairs where they are, and they're not back yet. And after like 1 week, I was thinking, how did people do this whilst like teaching them?
I
and
hadn't even thought about that.
getting them through their. I know exams were kind of called off, but like getting them through their curriculum and teaching them things that they needed to do, rather than just distracting them.
Especially at an age where they need someone with them, like they can't just look after themselves all day.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Literally, like after 2 days, I was thinking, gosh, the people that had primary school age kids working from home, teaching, and like the guy that I worked with, his working day would start really early, and then he'd do some homeschooling. At his lunch break or the kids' lunch break, he'd do work, more homeschooling, work later in the evening. After like, how long were we in lockdown? A long time.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd have burnt out or had a breakdown of some sort.
Yeah, I'm absolute heroes. I don't know how people do that.
Just a blow up.
I think, like, for me, though, there's definitely, like, times now where I just get, like, a little bit overwhelmed with all the responsibilities. And it's not just being a parent, it's at work and just in general in life and keeping on top of the house. And it's the, like, I actually have, like, almost like a strategy that I have to constantly tell myself. Because I don't know if this is the same with you or with other parents, where I will take on stresses where I cannot control anything about it. And I'll be stressed about it, but it will still like overwhelm me. It's like, I can't do anything about it now, so why stress about it? And it sounds simple just to ask yourself that question, but like now I'm proactively trying to go through like my mental load of things of actually what is not in my control, that actually I can't, there's no point just having room in my brain and just trying to put it to rest. So really like an odd like sense of therapy for yourself. However, it's I'm not on the edge as much as I was before. And I wasn't on the edge all the time, but when you're tired and you're trying to get everything sorted, it's like, actually, what am I stressing about that I have zero control over? Especially when it's to do with your kids, because there's a lot you have no control over.
Yeah, no, well, flipping heck. Yeah. No, it's true. And I've said this before, it's always perspective, isn't it? Like, it could be a lot better for a lot of people. Some people would be listening to this thinking, oh, I don't stress about it at all. Or other people be listening to this thinking, geez, like, that is me right now.
Yeah.
I think for me, I've only ever felt this like real, I'm starting to drown a little bit here. I mentioned recently that I've done a course in the last year when it comes to deadlines and you're doing your day job, you're trying to get your evenings on that stuff, like the work stuff with the coursework done, whilst you kind of got the kids as well. That for me has been a little bit overwhelming, but that's something I chose to add into the mix. Yeah. So it's something that I've got to learn to deal with one way or the other. Yeah. And that comes with, for us, a conversation with my wife saying, look, I've got a deadline next Monday. The weekend's going to be a little bit, I'm going to have to hide away. Yeah. And that's fine. Like, and she'll kind of support and make plans or whatever.
We'll have those fairly often as well, because we work from home and we treat it quite flexibly, or I do with my work. If I need to look after my daughter, I'll take the time back somewhere else. And that will often mean time where we would have spent time together. But actually, with that recognition that actually we're doing this so it's more flexible just in the long run. And that is quite stressful if you've done it for a prolonged period of time. So there was a time where, like a month or so, maybe even longer, like 6 weeks, where every Saturday evening I was working. And obviously I work Sundays as well. Yeah. And so that was just really, it was necessary for a time, but then it was getting to the point where it was really unhealthy, just even for my marriage, of just not spending enough like time on the weekend with my wife. And so it's like, actually, I now no longer can be that flexible in this area. So let's just change up the plan a bit. One of the other things that I found really helpful is like having an outlet. And like for me, this is one of those outlets of just talking about ups and downs and stresses and joys of parenting. But like having an outlet is essential, like as a parent. And this is more of just a shout out. If you don't have one, find a friend, or there's loads of services where you can just call up and they'll just let you vent. Yeah. It's like necessary to not blowing up.
Yeah, for sure. I was talking to a mate recently about running, actually. He's been getting into running. I said, how's it going? And He was like, it's just such a good stress reliever. At the end of the day, just to have some time to himself. And he's not a parent yet, but he was just like, it's so, and that's his outlet. He's found his outlet. For me, it's football, playing football, that time just to run around, because you're not thinking about anything. If you do, the ball hits you in the face. But
it's so important, isn't it?
Yeah, like, and it's not even necessarily the exercise element of it. It's the you've got to focus on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like I've recently, I was in a bit of a mood, and I just said to my wife, look, I'm going to go out before I shout at someone and say something I regret, which is something that I think has come, I'm not saying I'm mature, but like with a bit of maturity. I think a few years ago I'd have maybe just had a blow up, try to keep it to myself and then blown up. Whereas I recognised I was getting to that point, and I went to the driving range. So even though it's exercise and it's sport, there's a lot of thinking space in that.
Yeah.
So it's very different to playing football. So I just had like a bit of time to myself, and it's nothing to do with the kids even. It was just like, I just need a bit of time. And there's that recognition of, from my wife's part, yeah, he needs that time. And that's always key. And again, shout out to the single parents. Oh my goodness.
Honestly, it's... I remember the moment that the ball dropped for me on this, because pre-kids, like, all of this stuff is a completely different like game. Like everything's completely different before you have kids. And I was listening to the Parenting Hell podcast, Josh Whittaker and Rob Beckett, and I think Josh Whittaker just had a newborn, and this at the time when my daughter was fairly new in the born category. That was really weird.
In the life category.
But it's like, that's the point where you're all hands on. Like, you drop everything that's unnecessary in life, and it can be like really relentless.
Yeah.
And he was basically just saying there was one morning where his only space for that week was 10 minutes where he just went to stand in the garage.
Showers
or
for
the
me.
garden shed or something. he just stood there in the silence. And I thought, I can resonate to that so much.
100%. Showers for me. Just stand in the shower. Not moving.
But
we had a message on Instagram from T, and she messaged us saying, hi both, Happy New Year. I have no idea how I found your podcast, but I'm sure glad I did. Listen to this. I'm a solo mum to 10-month-old twin boys.
Oh my word.
And your podcast has had me crying with laughter, especially on those days where I had minimal sleep due to flipping teething. And she ends it with, continue to make us laugh and scaring me with what I have to come. But I picked up that message and I replied just saying, I applaud you. Like, oh my goodness.
Twins.
Boys.
Outnumbered.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my word.
But in those moments, what does a single parent or a solo parent, as she worded it there, what do you do?
Oh, honestly, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Respect levels for the single parents.
Respect, and also send us your top tools. Like, what are the avenues of de-stressing and venting, and even if it's just sending us hateful comments on TikTok. Yeah.
But if that's what gets you through. Amazing. So I've got a bit of good news, Jace, to end on. I've got some smashing news to end on.
Smashing news?
This made me smile from ear to ear. Really did. So we had a message from Yeva.
Yes.
Do you remember?
I do.
So this was a few months ago in October, I want to say. Let me double check. October. And she started her message off with, listening now, no kiddos yet, but working on it. Now we've had a message from Yeva saying, hi guys, officially joining the club in July.
Oh, come on.
Excited and petrified at the same time.
Oh, that's amazing.
And she has got a question. Yeah, massive congratulations to you, Yeva. She has got a question to us, which we'll come back to.
Yeah.
Because I want some input from my wife on it.
Oh, lovely.
It's from a female perspective.
That's very wise.
But we'll come back to it. But yeah, a massive congratulations to you, Yeva.
That's incredible.
Isn't that so good?
That's amazing.
I love that we kind of... we're involved. Kind of feel like involved in people's lives and people sharing their good news with us.
I think it's so important. Like, just having, like I said, for me, an outlet is just this. And if I wasn't talking on it, it would be messaging into it.
Yeah.
Of just sharing the experience and the parenting with everyone.
Yeah, that was a great way to start the year. Congratulations to you, Yeva, and your family.
Amazing. If you want to send us a message, please do. We want to hear all of them. You can send us on TikTok and Instagram at Parenting Tools Pod.
Or send us an email with no jingle. Zip in your lips as we speak, as I speak. parentingtoolspod@gmail.com. Don't forget, next week we have Daisy, sleep coach, sleep consultant, on the podcast.
Sleep wizard.
Sleep, however many nouns we can come up with. But please do send us your questions. Keep an eye out on our Instagram for that post, and we're going to learn a lot, and hopefully you'll be getting more sleep.
Honestly, I hope so much.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.